Now, Brandy was being shady as fuck, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let's get into the review. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Scotty, and we're here for a review of the Brandy and Monica Verzuz. Okay, now I'm gonna let you guys know that I will be discussing this again on the Prelude later on tonight. Me and Jamar will be going live for the Prelude tonight. We'll be discussing Brandy and Monica's Verzuz. The only difference between this video and that show, it would be that on that show with me and Jamar, we will be breaking it down. Okay, we're gonna be breaking everything down on what was going on with Monica and Brandy, each song, which one do we choose, all of that. But I decided to come in right now and give you my 2 cents on the Verzuz. Now, first of all, Monica came in with that "Why I Love You So Much" Bob and them pants that look like some thigh-high boots. Because that's what the fuck I thought it was. I thought them was some damn boots she had on, but they turned out to be pants. And they looked nice when she was sitting down, but it wasn't that flattering when she stood up, okay? That's one thing. Brandy, she gave me a little bit of Mother Earth. You know, gave me a little bit of Mother Earth. And the reason why I said she was fucking shady is because she decided to show up to the Verzuz with them "Before You Walk Out of My Life" kitten heels. That's what she had on. Did anybody catch that? Because I know I did. So here's my thing. Everybody knows that when it comes down to it, I'm Team Monica. But when it comes down to music altogether, I'm a music connoisseur. I can listen to anything. I can go from hip-hop to R&B to soul to pop and all the way back around again. My playlist ranges from fucking Britney Spears to Jessica Simpson to UGK to Tupac to Biggie to MC Lyte to Brandy to Monica to K. Michelle to Keisha Cole to Whitney Houston, all the way back. Adele, all of that stuff. I can listen to anything and get my life from it. As long as I like it, as long as I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? And regardless of me being Team Monica, as a music connoisseur, I can respect Brandy for being an artist. That's what it is. See, I can be Team Monica and not have to break Brandy down just because I'm Team Monica. Because at the end of the day, I can't break Brandy down. Why can't I break her down? Because she got the success. She was the icon. She did have a doll. She did have endorsements out the ass. She did have great music. She did have a TV show. She did have all of that. I know this because this was during the time that I was growing up. So I know all of this. So I could be Team Monica and give Brandy that respect that she deserves as an artist. Okay? And what I don't like about this whole situation is these women wanted to be a celebration. Besides it being a competition, they wanted it to be a celebration. They wanted this to be a positive moment for R&B music, a positive moment for females, because we already know that Brandy and Monica have a long-standing feud that goes all the way back from 1998, and they fell out again in 2012. After it was revealed that they did have a fist fight back in the Gap. So when Verzuz first came out, everybody wanted that Brandy and Monica Verzuz. And we got it. And we held 1.1 million viewers the whole 3 hours. And we peaked at 1.2 million viewers. And I was there jamming to every single song they played. Every single song they played, I knew it word for fucking word. Okay? That's one thing about it. As a music fan, an R&B fan all together, I can't help but be proud of that moment. Because there are legends in their own right. Both Brandy and Monica. See, people try to underrate them. People try to downplay them a lot. But to see them manage to get 1.2 million people to come in there and watch them play their old shit. And play their new shit. And any type of shit is amazing. These two women are way more important to music than we all thought they were. They're very important to music. And they gave us a moment that I would never forget. So put that stand shit to the side. You can love Brandy all day. You can love Monica all day. You can love them both all day. But they both need to get the respect that they deserve. Give them both their flowers while they're here. See, one thing I like about Brandy, number one, she's an Aquarius. Her birthday is February 11th, mine is the 12th. As a person that's into music, Not just listening to it, but write songs that listens to production and is into production. I respect her artistry. I respect her as an artist. I respect her for being technical. I respect her for really studying the craft and taking care of her craft and always elevating her craft. You know what I mean? Like, none of her albums sound the same. Brandy doesn't sound like Never Say Never. Never Say Never doesn't sound like Full Moon. Full Moon definitely doesn't sound like Aphrodisiac. Human doesn't sound like, let's see. Human doesn't sound like Aphrodisiac. 211 doesn't sound like Human. And B7 definitely doesn't sound like 211. They all have a different sound. She always reinvents herself every time she comes out. So I can respect her for that. I can respect her artistry. I can respect everything about her. She's an artist. She's a body of work type of bitch. You know what I mean? And I can respect that all the way. And that's why I give props where it's due. That's why regardless of who I prefer, I love Brandy. She's in my top 5 artists on Apple Music. So obviously I've been listening to her music quite a bit. The reason why I flock to Monica so much is because I relate to her more. You know what I mean? Like, I relate to her more. She makes songs that I can feel. I feel things when I hear Monica sing. She's not a technical singer. Like, it all comes into what you prefer. And one thing about it, I see why most people would stand for Brandy's voice. She's a technical singer. She knows the techniques. She has beautiful harmonies. Her background vocals are some of the best I ever heard. To be honest, I wish she could vocal produce for most of my faves, to be quite honest. Maybe their pitches would be better. Maybe their backgrounds would be better. Maybe they'll be better vocalists if she was a vocal producer. I wish she would. I swear I wish she would. What I prefer is, as a person that's into R&B music, and everybody knows that my favorite singer of all time is Mary J. Blige. So when you see that that's my favorite singer of all time, y'all see why I would flock to Monica, because she sings about real life shit that I myself have experienced at some point in time. She makes music for niggas like me, for gays like me. You know what I mean? And we could all say that Monica sings for the hood, she sings for the hood rats, but we say that as if that's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, everybody needs a voice. So when it all boils down to it, we can make jokes about that, but just like the student that's making all A's living in the suburbs need a voice, the bitches that stay in the projects need a voice. And that's just real shit. Now, I ain't never lived in the projects, but I know what it's like living in a city that's mostly urban, living around. I know a lot of ghetto girls, you know what I mean? I know a lot of bitches that's from the hood, you know what I mean? Like, I've hung around it. Like, most of my friends was from the hood. Like, I even grew up in the hood pretty much. Like, I grew up in Redbud Park. Like, that's not where I lived, but I spent most of my time there, you know what I mean? So I know what it's like. So she makes music for people like me, and that's why I flock to her. I mean, look at my track record. If you see me standing for a bitch, it's mainly Mary J. Blige, Monica, or K. Michelle. It used to be Keisha Cole to the bitch blocked me. That's a whole other story, child. And to hear them play those songs take me back to my childhood, to my teenage years, to everywhere. Okay? Like, when you hear I Wanna Be Down, don't down, I would like to get to know if I could be. Hey! I had to stop singing. But you get my drift. Then you got that funky ass Baby. Like, that beat, all of that. Then you got Broken Hearted. You know, that's my shit. Like, Broken Hearted is the story of my damn life. And then you got The Boy's Mind. And then you got Top of the World. That was my shit in the 4th grade. And then you got Have You Ever. That's also the story of my damn life. Almost Doesn't Count. Bitch, what? Then I remember What About Us when it first came out. I was in the 7th grade. And I could tell that my musical ear was different from all the other people that was in school with me. Because most of those people did not like that song. But I loved What About Us. Couldn't nobody tell me shit about What About Us. And I was sitting up here just turning 13. Baby, What About Us was the shit. Then Full Moon came out, and that was my song. I knew every riff, run, ad lib, everything from Full Moon. Then, 9th grade year, headed to my 10th grade year, she came out with Talk About Our Love. My shit. Aphrodisiac is probably my favorite Brandy album of all time. Then she came out with Who Is She to You. Was pissed because the song flopped. Pissed as fuck. I felt like it was better than Talk About Our Love, to be quite honest. But that was still my shit, and couldn't nobody tell me nothing about it. I was mad all about it. And I said, okay, so what's going to be the next single? Like, that bitch got all types of shit on Aphrodisiac that would light a lot of these bitches up. You know, you got the title track itself, you got Who I Am, you got Focus, you got I Tried, you got Where You Want to Be, you got Should I Go, you got Finally, you got, you know, you got a lot of tracks on that album that would just mop all these bitches up, to be honest. Then you got Human. Now, a lot of bitches didn't like their album. No lie, a lot of them didn't. I enjoy Human. My bestie, Jamar, enjoyed Human. He want justice for Human. You had Right Here Departed. You had Long Distance. You had Camouflage. You had True. You had First and... Like, you had a lot of great pop records on that album. And then after Human, there was 211. You had Put It Down. You had Wildest Dreams. One of my favorite songs, might I add. You had Do You Know. You had Without You. You had... Paint This House. You had Hardly Breathing. You had No Such Thing As Too Late. You had Slower. Like, you had great records on that album. Hate that it was only a 2-video era, but that was the shit. Then you come out with B7, Borderline, Rather Be, Bye Bipolar, I Am More, Saving All My Love. Like, you got all these great records. So, if anything, Brandy is a true artist. Through and through. And can't nobody take that from her. And as a Monica fan, I will always give props where it's fucking due. Brandy is an artist. Okay? She's not a recording singer. She's an artist. You know what I mean? And then you got, shit. Then you got, what did I just skip all over Never Say Never? Then you got Never Say Never. You know, you had, I already went to Never Say Never, but you got Tomorrow. You got Put That On Everything. You got Angel in Disguise. You got, like, Girl. Like, all these great songs. So, that's my Brandy rant. I had to give y'all it. But then you got Monica. So, this is my bitch right here. Like, you got Miss Thing. And then you got, Don't Take It Personal. Before You Walk Out of My Life Like This and Like That. Why I Love You So Much. Which is probably my most favorite Monica song of all time. And then you got the Boys Mind album. You got the duet with Brandy. You got The First Night. You got Angel of Mine. You got Street Sympathy, Symphony, which I don't know why she didn't play. With a slow ass. I don't know why she ain't played it, but to each his own, child. Then you got After the Storm. You got So Gone. You got Knock Knock. You got You Should Have Known Better. And she should have played Down for Whatever. I know it's not available on iTunes or anything like that, but she should have played Down for Whatever. Like, most people don't know that song, but most people need to know that song if you get my drift. And then you got The Makings of Me. Every Time the Beat Drop, A Dozen Roses, Sideline Hope, surprised she even played that. And then you go into Still Standing, where you got Everything to Me. You got Love All Over Me, and I'm not even going to acknowledge New Life. Moving on. And I won't acknowledge Code Red either, but moving on. But all in all, these girls got these girls got great catalogs. And their catalogs are undeniable. It doesn't matter who you like the most, who you fuck with the most. They have undeniable catalogs, bruh. And that's all that really matters, okay? Like, Monica and Brandy, like just watching them together and playing their music, and I'm just in my bedroom just vibing away and shit like that. Like, I felt like I was like 9 and 10 years old all over again. So can't nobody, and this is my whole thing. Monica and Brandy are just a rarity to me. And I was just sitting there looking at them, and I'm like, man, if Aaliyah was sitting up there with them, that would have been even more clutch, bruh. Like, it just would have been everything if I would have seen all three of them sitting up there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, It's just amazing. And I just want people to bask in that moment. It's giving me goosebumps just talking about it. But I want people to bask into that moment and just realize that it's more to them than them fighting over the boy's mind, or them fighting before they get on stage, or the stand wars that don't even matter at this point. Because most of us are 30 plus now. Because I'm 31. I know I don't look like it, but you know. But all in all, it was a great show. I loved every moment of it. I can't stop watching it, and I can't stop listening to neither one of them. Like, period. Even though I listen to them a lot anyway, but baby, it was everything. Like, everything. But I'm gonna leave the rest of my excitement about it for tonight's the prelude. That's what I'm gonna leave that for. But all in all, it was great. If anybody thinks it wasn't, they a fucking hater. And I don't give a fuck who take it any kind of way. Anybody that thinks it wasn't shit to look at is a hater. Point fucking blank, bruh. That's all I'm saying. With that being said, you guys, let me give y'all my social media. My Instagram is Scotty_by_nature. My Twitter is ScottyByNature1. Make sure y'all like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Be sure to get into Brandy and Monica's catalogs. Get into them. They have great bodies of work. Get into them, okay? Fuck all that staying shit, bro. And I'm out of here. Holla.